Okay, hey Tyson, it's Mrs. Pritchard. Okay, so on your homework, okay, when you look at these bottom ones, this is where you're writing fractions. So watch Miss Allie's video that was attached to this assignment. Now, these ones up here, okay, you're going to need to use your chart. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so that I can do some sample problems here. Okay. Okay. So you're going to be using this chart. Maybe I should go like this. Okay, so you're going to be using this chart to kind of help you. Okay, and I really look at gallon man a lot of times because that kind of helps me see how many quarts are in a gallon. The P is for pints, and then within the pint is 2 little cups. So on the first one, okay, it says 2 pints equals how many quarts? So the first thing I would do, Tyson, is just code it so you know, are you going to be multiplying or dividing? So if I'm going pints, which are those P's, and I'm going to quarts, so if I look on here, okay, you can see that my pints are smaller than my quarts. So I would be going from a smaller to a larger unit, right? Which would be divide. Now, sometimes our next step would be to write an expression, but sometimes we can just look at gallon man and know. So if I'm looking here, this one's really nice, Tyson. Because if I look here and if I have 2 pints, how many quarts is that? That's 1 quart. So I don't even have to do an expression. I can just look at gallon man. Or you can use your chart up here. So if I look here and I have 2 pints, it says that that's equal to 1 quart. So I can use this chart or I can use gallon man. So on this one, on some of these, you may not need to write an expression because you might just need to look and see that it's equal to 1 quart. Okay, so some of those first ones are going to be like that. Now let's do one where maybe it's not that simple. So what if we had this? So we're going to do 5 gallons equals how many quarts? Okay, and this is going to be number 6. So we have 5 gallons equals how many quarts? So on this one, we might want to code. So if we're going from gallons to quart, and gallons is that huge gallon, I know that I'm going from a larger to a smaller unit because quarts are smaller. So it's going to take more of them, right? So I'm going to be multiplying. Now, what you need to do to find your expression is I need to see how many quarts are in 1 gallon. So let's look at gallon man. So if I look here, how many quarts, Q, are in 1 gallon? So this entire thing is a gallon, and I count 1 quart, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 quarts in 1 gallon. And again, up here, it even tells you that. So when I go back to that problem, I'm going to write an expression. So I'm going to put 5 times, because we know we wanted to multiply, and we just found our magic number, but that there's 4 quarts in 1 gallon, and I have 5 gallons. So I'm just going to do 5 times 4. That's a pretty easy math fact. So that would be 20. So it's going to take more quarts because they're smaller. Okay, so on the top ones, you're doing your coding, you're looking at your gallon man or your chart to kind of find that magic number, and then you're just writing an expression. Okay, so I want you to try those top ones again. And remember, Mr. Thayer is having office hours today from 1:30 to 2. So you can click on that link in our schedule and go to a Zoom meeting with him. Okay, so I'm going to kind of get down. So I hope that helps. So that one that we just did was number 6. Okay, so you keep putting these fractions. These ones up here should most likely be whole numbers. This part down here is where you need to look at Miss Allie's, and she explains how to do those. Okay, so try that and see that.